Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday. This is week number 3. Can you believe that we are halfway through Lent?
It's amazing. I'm
really
delighted.
is.
It's been such a journey, but yeah, week 3.
We have had such amazing response, and I don't know about you, but I have had some major growth during this 3 weeks that we've been doing this. This has really been fun. It's really been interesting. But let's go ahead and dig right in and talk about this week's service. Now, here's the part where I tell you, if you have not watched this last Sunday service, go back and watch it now so that you can kind of keep up with us and know exactly what we're talking about. Also, if this is the first time that you're seeing one of these videos, you can absolutely catch up. Just go watch the service videos and then watch all of our Wisdom Wednesday videos, and you'll be totally caught up for this Lenten season. So let's get into it, dig right in. The title, why did you pick it? What do we need to learn from this week, and what's our growth opportunity?
Absolutely. The title this week was Suit Up. And the basic idea, that's sort of a universal sign for get ready. You know, get your shoes on, let's go. It's time you can envision firefighters putting on their uniforms and going to fix a thing. In my head, as I was getting ready for the talk, I thought about all of those great training montages from the 1980s films where Rocky
Rocky IV.
Chopping wood or whatever. All those moments in the movies that we grew up with. But part of the Easter thing is, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, is it's time for your training montage in general. The whole thing is about that. But here with this talk, Jesus in the scripture says, you don't know when everything's going to change for you.
Right.
So get ready. And that word ready is important. It's a hallmark of what Jesus talked about and taught over and over again. But I really want to double down on it. The thing that I want people to take away from this conversation, as well as the Sunday talk, and as well as all of the activities that we're doing this week, is this. You get what you're ready for. This is a big deal. I mean, if you think about it, God is done. You know,
right.
All of the life, all of the love, all of the healing, all of the whatever it is. God's already got this.
He's the total package.
All right. No, but you know what I mean?
Right,
Let me put that differently. If you're having a healing opportunity, it's not because God is sick, right? God is already life itself. And so, and we've talked some about this before, but let's get really clear. The difference between life and healing in the ultimate and me experiencing healing in my own life is simply a matter of my own readiness for it. So what can you do to agree with God, as we say? What can you do to be ready for God? Or putting that all another way, if you are only ready to be disappointed, if there's only room in your life for, oh, they're going to leave me, they're going to disappoint me, it's not going to work out, the world is a rough place, that's it. Your readiness, here's the thing, your readiness is the lens through which God happens in your life.
It's why we often, you'll hear us say, or you'll see a hashtag I am ready, because that for us is a prayer. Yeah. It's in times when maybe you're not feeling exactly spiritual, maybe you're a little bit down in the dumps, you're having a bad day, and it's really nice just to take a minute and come back and just go, I am ready, because you don't know what God has in store for you. Right. We can't know.
No, it's not your job
It's not your job.
And in fact, so often, that's the problem, is I'm trying to put limits on what God can do for me. And talking about movies, there's that scene in so many movies when somebody jumps out of a plane, the parachute opens, but they're tangled up in it. And I mean, it's been used over how many spy movies and superhero movies
or
and whatever.
It's not there at all.
Yeah. But the idea is there's that parachute, but you're in the way of it opening up. And I don't know about you, but I've seen those movies and you have that moment, just roll over, just get untangled. Well, that same feeling is a feeling that you can apply to your life. When you feel frustrated, when you feel like you're in that suspenseful moment, however you want to call it, it's because you are preventing the parachute from opening. Inadvertently, I don't want to get into a blame place. You're doing the best you can, but sometimes it's not about trying to force it, but rather to get out of the way so it can do what it does naturally. And I'm so glad you brought up that I am ready thing. Around here at Water and Stone, we call that the 3-word prayer. I am ready. It's a whole prayer all by itself, because when you think about it, there's the I part. Here's me.
Here's me.
Because remember, prayer isn't something that just God does. prayer is a cooperative process.
Right.
So I'm here. But then the I am.
The I am.
Remember
is another name for God.
Yeah. Moses asks God, what do you call yourself, basically?
Right.
Go look up the burning bull part in Scripture. Very, very important. But Moses basically says, well, who should I say sent me? Yeah. And God says, tell them I am has sent me. We humans have all kinds of different words for God across the spectrum of religiosity and spirituality and all of that. Mm-hmm. But when you ask God, what do you call yourself? God says, I am. And part of the meaning there is that there's more than you can put into words. So God is basically saying, I just am.
Right.
And so, we can go down a side road and talk about find things in your life that just are. Beyond intellect and beyond reasoning and qualification and judgment. What just is for you? Because those are things that you really ought to spend more time with. But we'll talk about that more later on. The basic idea is
Right.
The I am, God is here. And then what you're saying with ready, you're saying, do your stuff. I'm getting out of the way of this. I'm just ready for
I was going to say,
growth
it's a releasing.
Yeah.
You're ready, because it's like when you say that, it's like, are you ready? I'm ready. Mm-hmm. It means, are you ready to go? Are you ready for this big adventure? And that readiness just is a reminder, but it's also a release.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for me, it's both of those.
And when you're in that moment where you feel like the roller coaster of your life, you're going up that hill, mm-hmm. when you're getting ready to ask that person for their phone number, ask for the raise at work, you're getting ready to put yourself out there. Because remember, life is about putting yourself out there. It's a wonderful little prayer. You just close your eyes and go, okay, I am ready. And if you know it's a prayer, God already knows that everything you say is a prayer. That's really all you need sometimes, just to bring yourself back. It's an incredibly powerful tool. But it also brings into focus the idea, and I've said this before, but not during this series, so I'm going to repeat it now. Church is not a place where you're supposed to go to get validated. Mm-mm. Sometimes people think church is where I go, where I can hate all the same people I used to hate. I can continue to be validated in my current ego modality or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and to be honest, it feels good to be in that pattern, to know what to expect, to go to a place where you are welcome, that nothing is expected of mm-hmm. you, because most of the world you have have-tos, and probably in your life. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, here's the secret. Church is really no different than that. There are have-tos at church too.
Is life. And the thing is, even that kind of validation has a shelf life.
Sure.
If you get into a relationship because the other person just lets you stay the same, you're not going to be with them for very long. Love is challenge, just saying, let's grow through this together. And so, as I have said many times, a church shouldn't feel like a steam bath where everybody just kind of sits in it, even though that's what a lot of people go expecting on a Sunday morning.
Right.
Around here, the church that we are building is not like a steam bath. For me, the metaphor that I want everybody to have in their mind is like one of those movies where everybody's getting ready to jump out of the plane, go skydiving. Sure. It's like, okay, we can do this. And so there's that camaraderie and there's that support. It's like, okay, we got this together. And in the movies, there's always one person where it's their first jump and everybody's like, okay, let's go, we got this. And it happens.
Right.
That's what church is supposed to feel like. I feel like a lot of times it doesn't. But that prayer, I am ready, can bring you to that point. So again, life is about what you're ready for. That little part of Scripture where Jesus says, you don't know the hour or the day, people have often used to say Jesus is talking about the end of everything. But remember, Jesus was not a big wait till your father comes home kind of guy.
No, he was right here, right now. What can you do right now?
The kingdom of heaven is in your midst.
That will take care of itself. Why are you worrying about something that you can't control anyway?
Over and over again, Jesus' statement is, God is here. Over and over again, Jesus' statement is, don't worry about tomorrow. I'm not interested in tomorrow. Today is the only reality. So that idea that this is about the end of something just doesn't match the rest of Jesus's whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. So instead of that, remember, if I get what I'm ready for, what happens if I stop being ready for the end of something, for the destruction and desolation of something, and instead, what if I'm ready for new birth? What if I'm ready for something to start in me? Something new to happen from within me, that voice that has been calling you all along, and maybe you don't even know how to listen because nobody gave you the tools. It's there though. And this Easter thing is about going, all right, it's time for new birth. And I don't know the hour, I don't know the day, because it's God's job to know that. Right. My job is to get ready for it. So what can you do in your conversations, in your relationships, in your job, in whatever situation you have, to answer the question, what does this get me ready for? So you're sitting around and a bunch of people are talking and the old stuff comes up of, the gossip and the who does what to who did what to who, which can make you feel okay in the short term.
Right.
But it's a lame self-esteem boost.
Well, it's a distraction from the own work that you have to do inside, because isn't it fun to put somebody else down? Isn't it fun to look how low they are and aren't I better than them and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So it becomes a distraction.
And there's a lot of flavors of that. Sometimes the flavor of it is just, well, we're all going to talk about how bad things are because that's the currency that we exchange, that kind of a thing. And it just, like I said, there's a shelf life.
Sure.
So instead of that, find a way to ask yourself nicely, if you want, what is this getting me ready for? Because if it's getting you ready for more misery, getting you ready for more distraction, find a way to engage instead. Find a way to go, you know what I want to be ready for is healing, overcoming, and triumph. And to the degree that you make that a priority in your life, you are making room for miracles.
I love that. If you love these videos, if you love what we're talking about and you're watching it on Facebook, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are following us on Facebook or you're watching this on Facebook, head over to Water and Stone and give us a follow and a like on that page. Also, you can always follow us on our Instagram. We have some amazing stuff coming out on all of our social media platforms. It helps us get the word out. So if this has spoken to you and you have felt changed by this, help us and to help other people also. I mean, because I think that's the way that this works, is things get passed on. If you can pass on those cat videos, you can pass on this video too. I mean, I love kitties and I love puppies and I watch my share of those, but let's really work on changing the world. So again, if this has spoken to you, please allow it to speak to other people as well. And we're going to see you tomorrow for Throwdown Thursday. We're going to see you for Friday when we get to check in with you. And then, boy, howdy, we're starting week number 4, so it's really great. But here's another thing that I want to say is come and join us on Sunday morning, this Sunday, 11 a.m., USF St. Pete Harbor Hall, right? Harbor Hall. Yeah. That's hard to say. Harbor Hall. And we are located at 1003rd Street South, if I can get all of those words out.
St. Petersburg, Florida, the finest city on the face of the earth.
Y'all have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon.